Hey, it's Rachel from the Life Facilitator, and I am going to start working on setting up for March with the Cocoa Daisy Treetop Canopy kit. And particularly, I'm going to set up my traveler's notebook and start to kind of organize my materials. So, what I want to start by saying is that I have decided for the month of March to trim down my Daisy Dory to roughly B6 slim size. And I will show it in comparison to my Simple Dory. I will do another flip through of this when I'm like totally done. I have a couple pages I still want to work on, so I'll do a flip through after that. But basically, I don't know. I just felt like I wanted a slightly smaller format for March. And so I did no trimming of the width. I just took off about an inch from the top. Well, actually, an inch total from top and bottom. So, like if we're being honest, it's more like an inch and a quarter. So now this is 7 inches tall by the normal 4 1/4. Yeah. And so what I've discovered is that this insert fits inside my personal size Daisy Weeks cover. It definitely fills the insert, like it goes pretty much all the way to the end, but that's okay. And so now I have a cover for it, which is awesome. And I could put it in a B6 cover, and then it would just be the insert would be a little bit more narrow. But this is going to work great. So I'm going to fill up the pockets. I will put something on the cover, and yeah, the other part of this insert is just a blank insert that I'll show you what I did with I have had a standard size insert for a couple months, and I have notes in here. I have sketches, other notes, lists that I wanted to do. And then I also had a couple like challenge prompts, like the February prompt for the journaling challenge, and test it out of this or that. So I like having a blank notebook in here. The other thing I had in here, I printed out the sketches from the Traveler's Notebook memory keeping kits, and then I also have some older sketches in here from over the last couple of years. So these sketches were really helpful in getting quite a few pages done in here. So I might do the same thing in this notebook, or I might just refer back to this one. And so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm just going to set this up so that it's ready to go, and I am ready to use it. And then I will switch out my inks, and then I'll switch out my stickers and pocket cards and things. So I'm gonna go get started. First, I'm going to create a pocket for my Simple Dory using the packaging from probably the die cuts, and it's probably the where it came from. Well, I am going to add this little pocket card just because it's so cute. But I have found that one of the things I like to do each month is keep the packaging with the backer card on it, so that I have easy to use pockets. And for my Simple Dory, I like to have a pocket because I can put photos or pocket cards that I'm planning on using in the pocket, and they're ready to go. And they're with the Simple Dory, which is nice. And I just adhere it with some double-sided adhesive, and yeah, it works great. So I'll put a few pocket cards in there. Throughout the video, when I'm opening things for the first time, I just go ahead and cut off the top. So I do that with the stamps. I do it with anything that has packaging. I go right across the top. I will now make a washi card, and this washi card will include washi from the Traveler's Notebook Memory Keeping Kit, and I believe the planner add-on kit. And then extra washi from January, which I didn't take off because, heck, I'll probably use it. And add that to the pocket. I will consider using the charm. Cut right off the top. Now I can use that packaging again, or that as a little pocket, which is nice. So I'm going to try to use the charm. Ultimately, I pass. It's so pretty, but it just wasn't working. And I think probably just because this notebook was small. So I will consider this charm for another planner. And then next I will start decorating the pockets. And when I decorate the pockets, I'm not going crazy. I just want to add a couple little elements. One of the functional things I add to the pockets are the pocket cards that I do plan to use in this traveler's notebook. So I'm auditioning different cards that I think I will likely use with this setup, and those will be put in the sort of secretarial pocket, so that they are with the Simple Dory and easy to grab. And the ones I choose, are just ones that tend to have like prompts or things that I would want to put in this notebook. I'm adding a few die cuts to the pockets, and I do realize that the die cuts are adhesive backed, but I do not want to commit these die cuts to these pockets. So to keep them secure, I just put a little bit of washi tape on the back. Those are the stamps for this month, and I cannot tell you how excited I am. So excited about those stamps. Adding the clear pocket that came in the Traveler's Notebook kit, and fun fact, the tags, those craft tags, fit beautifully in the pockets. Yay! They're a little small for the 3x4 pocket cards, but you could always trim them down to make them work. Again, trimming off the top and then considering, and now I will use the packaging as the backer as decoration in my pocket. And then next we'll work on, I'm going to add the patch, this little parrot patch to the sort of bottom of the clear pocket. And I'm putting a little washi tape on the back. And I just love how he's like sitting on the pocket. So cute. Next, I'm going to decorate the cover of my Simple Dory, and I will do that with some of the paper from the Traveler's Notebook Memory Keeping Kit. I'm going to rip the paper, and when I decide to do that, I forgot that I was going to add a few chipboard pieces. But after that, I will add to the cover. And instead of having a straight line, I decided to rip the paper, and to rip it so that it looked ripped but not like a mess, I used a ruler. And I have found that that's really helpful for ripping paper. And then to adhere it to the cover, I will eventually put the adhesive directly on the cover instead of on the paper. If I put it on the paper, then I'm trying to guess where the paper, and anyway, it was just easier to put it on the cover. And add the paper. And it's a pretty simple cover. So paper and pocket card and that will be it. And I like to keep my Simple Dory covers a little bit more streamlined because one, this insert gets a lot of use throughout the month, and so I don't want too many things on the cover that could potentially fall off, but also this insert gets chunky pretty quickly, and so a little less bulk at the beginning is better. After I've ripped ripped around the card, I'm going to add a little ink border to this pocket card using Distress Oxide ink. And just a tip, if you're using ink, if you're doing something like this, give it a second and actually give it probably like 5 minutes before you do anything with it. Otherwise, you will get ink everywhere, which is what I'm about to do. Ink on my desk, ink on the card, ink everywhere. So yes, be a little more patient than me and add the ink or put it off to the side and come back to it. Next, I'm going to use the paper scraps from the cover and add it to the pockets. This is something I always enjoy doing when I'm doing a traveler's notebook setup. Anytime I can use paper scraps in the pockets, it's really nice. And this was a good example of that. I will add some wood veneer to the pockets as well. And oh man, these leaves, I can't get enough of the leaves, and just the vibe of this month it's super fun. And then I needed a little blue, and so I'm adding a little bit of blue to the cover pockets as well. And then once I'm done with all of that, I will put all of my paper scraps into my paper scrap tray, which includes paper scraps, any packaging that I think I want to use later as pockets, the glassine bags, all of that will go in that little tray. Next is I am washi matching for the kit, and for all of my color matching that I do, none of it is a perfect match, and that is a-okay with me. I like just getting as close as possible, and this is probably my favorite part because I love getting to dive into my stash of the things I already have and finding things that match up. It's pretty fun. And then I found some thin washi, and I also found some Cocoa Daisy washi from former kits that looked pretty good with this collection. It's usually not hard to do. A lot of the colorways from kits are pretty similar with Cocoa Daisy. So if you've been a subscriber for a while, chances are you can color match this kit with lots of other kits. This is a look at how I store my stamps, and they just are off on like a rolling cart off to the side. So here's me putting all of my scraps in their little scrap tray. These trays are from Target, I believe the kitchen section, and I don't actually know what they're called, but yeah. So these two cards that came in the Traveler's Notebook Memory Keeping Kit are great and are meant to fit in the Simple Dory as is. However, because I've trimmed down my Simple Dory, they won't fit in the notebook. And so I decided to just go ahead, adhere them together, and punch them so that they will fit in my memory planner. And this is something I had already planned to do, was to make some little inserts in my memory planner, and so I thought to just do it now rather than forget about it. Next, I'm going to work on getting my dimensional die cuts and decorative items together. So all of the dimensional pieces go in one little tray, and then the rest of my die cuts will go in a separate tray. And because the die cuts are adhesive backed, I will actually, like any of the word die cuts, I will put onto my, later I'll put those on my removable sticker paper. Next, I am going to go ahead and put all of my alpha stickers together. I have found each month that it is really nice to have my alphas together, because I'm usually trying to remember what alphas I have. And it's such a particular sticker that it's nice to have them all together. And so I'll put all my alphas together. I will put, and then the rest of my sticker kits kind of remain as is. But yeah, it's nice to have kind of, it's almost like an inventory of like what alpha stickers I have to work with. And next I'll put all of my stickers, I staple all of my sticker kits together just so that they don't end up all over the place. And then I will add them to the yellow polka dot zipper pouch from Coco Daisy. It looks so cute. I love that I have a yellow one and a gray one now, because I feel like they go with all the kits. Okay, now I'm going to break down February, sort of. I'm mostly just taking things out of this clear tray. This clear tray is from Amazon. And then just putting March in. Once I'm like fully done with February, I will actually like break down the kits and put them in in different places based on like type. Now I am color matching my stamps, and you can see I have a couple different types of stamps I'm working with. The Distress Oxides on the right are the ones I had used for February, and several of those will work for March as well, which is great. And then I'm pulling a couple others that I think I might use. I really like the Versa Magic inks for paper that is a little bit thinner, because the pigment ink sits on top of the page and doesn't bleed through, which is nice. The Distressed Oxides are probably my favorite inks just in general, but they are quite juicy and are not great fits for some papers. Like they're great for stamping like patterns on cardstock. They're great on cardstock, but like on my planner pages, it's a little bit of a risk. And the way to get around it is really you could just stamp off the first stamp and then stamp onto a page. But I'm lazy, and so I like to have some options for stamping. So I am auditioning colors. Again, nothing is going to be a perfect match. I'm really just looking for what colors I'm like feeling. So, am I feeling this blue? Yes. Am I thinking, If I have an feeling with stamp colors for the month, I just put it aside because I know I'm not going to reach for it. And chances are I'm usually just grabbing the same couple of colors anyways, regardless of the monthly kit. Like this Abandoned Coral, it is not a great color fit for this collection, but I don't care. It's staying with my like reach for inks because I just love it. I love it so much. And I won't use this kit all month. And so it's nice to have inks available for, if I'm not using the Coco Daisy Treetop Canopy kit, I have other inks at my disposal. You'll notice I have a little tray under those inks, and those are my most used stamps. And so they just sort of live in that tray because I have found it's just, I grab for them so often that it just makes sense for them to be like all together. And I know that they're there. And so it's easier for me and I'm much more likely to stamp now that I have that little like most MVP icon stamp tray. Okay. Now I am going to do some Mildliner testing. These Mildliners, I believe I got from Amazon. You can also get them from Jet Pens. And again, it's not going to be a perfect color match, but some are going to be better than others. And so the ones that I think are a good match, I keep. And then some of them, again, like my stamp inks, I just really like the color and I'm going to use it all month. Like that pink is not a great match for this kit, but I don't care. It will like be in my pouch, my pencil pouch forever and ever because I love it so much. Testing out some colored pencils, which thank you Heidi Swap for helping me rediscover the beauty of a colored pencil. I haven't used colored pencils in years, but I have been watching lots of Heidi Swap inspiration, and so now I'm like all in on the colored pencils. They're so fun. And I have 2 sets now, which is silly. Who needs 2 sets of colored pencils? But so all of this is to help me have a cohesive color palette for the month across my planner, memory planner, journal, and Simple Dories. So this helps take some of the guesswork out of like what I want to use throughout the month. So again, even if I'm not using the Cocoa Daisy items, I will typically pull similar colorways from, whether it's from Happy Planner or from, other stickers that I have. This is my colorway for the month. And so these are the colors I'm going to be pulling from. And I don't have to stick to it, but it's nice to have it, again, to avoid that like analysis paralysis. I'm going to staple, I think, did I already do that? Probably. Now I'm moving on to the pocket cards. I'm putting away my February pocket cards. And I don't have an organization for this, and I need to get one because these are just they're in this little tray in such a hodgepodge way. The tray is from scrapbook.com. Love the tray. Need to do a better job organizing. Now I'm going to then put the remaining die cuts in my little like die cut sticker book. So this is removable sticker paper that I've just add whatever I didn't use onto this sheet so that I know I have it and can kind of, rather than like fishing through a bunch of die cuts, I can just look through this sticker book to see what I want to use. And then after that, I will pull out my storage system for some of the other elements, like the dimensional embellishments. So my puffy alphas go in an envelope. My chipboard and those puffy hearts will go in a different envelope. And this has just been working for me. If I'm looking for something, I know exactly where to look for it, and it's really helpful. And then my papers will go in my crazy paper stash box, which is another project that needs to get dealt with. The tags I'm going to put back in my February Simple Dory because I will likely use them in there. And then goodbye, little paper scraps, onto your forever home in my paper scrap box. Oh my gosh, it's a wild situation in there. So that's pretty much everything. These little trays will be used for the following month, and they're ready to go. And I'll give you a final look at my Traveler's Notebook, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and give it a thumbs up. Any questions, please feel free to leave them below. Thanks. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.